Flo, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me now? Hmm? Ah, Hi everyone. I think we can start right now. I hope you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Toy? Toy, are you here? I guess we can start. All right. So thank you very much for joining this live today. I'm really excited to share about you a little bit of SalesMind journey, what we do, who we are, why we're doing it, and so on. So I would like to start with the introduction of SalesMind. Where does it come from? So my co-founder and I, we have been in the lead generation sphere for half a decade also now. And at some point, we identify a gap in the sales software platform. So we were generating lead for our customers, and we identified that LinkedIn was an amazing channel for people to make their acquisition funnel out of that. And then we identified that there is plenty of different methods to actually generate lead from LinkedIn, and the one that is the most scalable, the easiest to start, and that actually being predictable is the outbound itself. So once we identified that the automation was working quite fairly well, actually, we discovered a very massive pain point. So we were dealing with the sports equipment manufacturer, and that the owner of that company was actually a famous football player. And at some point, when we did the report for him, so we were working for him for several months, and once we did the report, we found out that they missed the opportunity with some of the lead. So we saw the first one, we saw the second one, we saw the third one, and the fourth one was actually a golden opportunity that they missed. They were in touch with the Olympics game organizer in Paris a while ago, and they just never replied. While the lead was actually very excited to deal with this famous football player, and they just never replied. So the deal is completely gone. So basically, at that exact moment, we identified that AI could spot the opportunity in the inbox and make the lead move forward in the funnel of conversion. So what we observe at that time is you need 5, 6 to 10 touch points to actually get a qualified lead on a meeting. And unfortunately, that takes a lot of human resources. So basically, you need to go back and forth. You need to understand the prospect need, the challenge that they have, understand if your solution can fit for them, and so on. And that just takes a tremendous amount of time, especially at a time where the number of connection and activity on LinkedIn were not as much restricted as it is today. We were able to send thousands and thousands of connection requests. So that was a very big pain point for them to identify which lead is actually a good opportunity and take the lead for making this prospect move down in the funnel. So at that point, we tried to make minimum viable application for identifying the right opportunity and replying to that opportunity until the human is actually needed in the funnel of conversion. What we identify is the AI is much more capable and outcompete human in that specific sphere. So we are going into a stage where the AI replaced the SDR by doing most of the tasks that those people were doing. What were they doing actually? They were doing emails, they were sending emails, sending follow-up, chasing the no-show, and making sure that the people have the right link to the right resources, and then follow up, and then scheduling the meeting, identifying the opportunity from the lead itself. Is it the right person that I need to talk? What is the organizational map for me to identify the right decision maker, who is the champion and everything. So all those stuff, now the AI is able to identify if the person is the right one, which buying role this person have, is this person interested, is it at the right time, the right moment, and so on. So that's a little bit all about SalesMind. So this is how we started, and now on, our mission is to automate end-to-end the funnel of acquisition for our users. So the AI takes place in most of the case. We have the human in the loop, and what I will show you after is the way how we actually deal with that, and how do we generate lead for ourselves first and our users as well. So I will share my screen, and we will get into that. All right, I hope now you can see my screen. So here we're on some campaign, but let's get started with the basic. This is the dashboard here where you can see and monitor all the activity that you have and so on, and what has been done, what will be done, and so on. Oh, I hope this is okay. I can make it a little bit bigger. Perfect. So let's create a campaign together and see how easy and straightforward it is to get started. So here, I'm Julian, so I'm going to show my profile, but you can see that you can have an unlimited number of profiles here. And I'm going to choose my experience. This is very important to ensure we have actually the right value proposition and the right solution to promote. And here I have to define few information about my objective. So do I want to generate meeting with the prospect? Do I want to get people contact information? Do I want to drive traffic into my website? Or do I want directly people to sign up into the application? Maybe I want to invite prospect to visit this event, which we haven't actually, or just hiring some people, okay? So let's take the meeting one. I want to generate meetings. That's how we generate sales. So let's generate some meeting. Here, I will define which is the website URL where people can actually, where the AI can actually read that page and identify the solution that I have to promote. Usually, what we do here, we A/B/C test different strategy. In that case, I'm going to take the home page, but it could be AI lead finder. That's a specific page we have for the AI lead finder, and then the proposition will be only toward that. But let's get simple for this specific step. And here, where the people can actually book the meeting. If I want to generate meeting, people have to book the meeting. In my case, that will be my favorite CRM, HubSpot. No, I'm kidding, I hate them. So the link type is an online calendar. So where people will be redirected, it's on the online calendar. So it makes more context for the AI to understand how to offer the link itself. In that case, we will offer the link, hey, do you want to book a meeting with me? Here, my calendar, and the people will have the link right away. And where it gets really interesting is below. So who will actually handle the reply? Either the copilot will identify the conversation, put a tag if the person is interested, not interested, and so on, and drop the message itself, waiting for me to validate that, or we will just go fully autopilot and the AI will reply within 10 minutes, go back and forth with the prospect as we can see later, and everything will be entirely autonomous until I jump into the conversation unless this is my time to do something. If I got on a sales call with the people, the AI will not take over and I will have a tag for me to handle the activity. So that's for the reply. And now the nurturing. If the person replied once and doesn't reply anymore, who will handle the follow-up? Who will check back in 7 days, 21 days, 6 months with the prospect? You or the AI? Autopilot, copilot. Very simple. And the last, but not the least one, the adaptive microsite. This is something that I would like to introduce further later in the video today. But as you can imagine, that's something completely groundbreaking. We are revolutionizing the way how buyers are interacting with your solution. So let's activate that. And below a few advanced settings. So who will be the owner of this meeting? For example, if my colleague Bram, which actually more or less the case, He will take the meeting. I said, this is Bram who's going to take the meeting, so the AI will introduce Bram instead of myself for the meeting. So I will not have a message like, hey, do you want to have a meeting with me? It will be, hey, if you want to have a meeting with us, Bram will be the one that get in touch with you during the meeting. Some inactive day here, some active setting. So when are we doing the outreach? Certain day you don't want the outreach to turn, certain time you don't want the outreach to go. And here we have a auto detect prospect business hour. It simply means wherever your prospects are, we will look at the business hour and only send activity during that specific time. Okay, so if you have people in the US and people in Singapore, we will message them only during their business hour. Or otherwise, you can select here, for example, Singapore, and everyone in the company will get the same time. Okay, very simple but fairly effective. And here below we have the blacklist. So for example, if I want to blacklist some people, my competitor or my client actually, I can simply take the link of their company here or their profile, and that will be simply blacklisted. So that's the two first ones. But now let's get started with the most exciting part of SalesMind. We are building prospecting list within SalesMind. We entirely replace Sales Navigator, at least the basic function, and I will show you how that works. So here we have first several methods that we can use, but let's focus now on the AI lead finder. Okay, so let's say I'm targeting sales decision maker. Here, that populates some of the job title. Here, chief sales officer, vice president of sales, sales director. Let's say I don't want sales representative, and I want to ensure that I do not target sales team leader eventually, right? That's my choice. I can exclude some people, add more position, or just include everything. Same for the country. I can select whatever country I want, and that will just build the list for that. And then the industry, what industry my prospects are in. If you're familiar with Sales Navigator, you will recognize some of the filter, but we have up to 36 different criteria filter for you to identify the right qualified prospects. Over the time, this is something that we identify, and one of the biggest pain points in the sales industry today is the quality of lead. Do you contact the right person? Does this person have the right problem? Is this the right buying person within the organization, and so on? So we really put a strong focus on the quality of lead, and by doing this extensive profiling of those prospects, we will be able to identify them very precisely. So here, let's say IT services and consulting, software development people. I know that they love this kind of solution, so we are going after them. And here, the number of company headcount. So let's say I'm targeting below 200 people. Specific details. So for example, I want them to have HubSpot or Pipe Drive. The simple reason is we are natively compatible with those platforms, so it will be very easy for them to integrate that. And now we are going the years in company and so on. So you can go after all those filters and define the way you want to target people. Now I save, the AI will do the job, identify all those people that have these criteria, identify either they are active on LinkedIn or not, because if you target people that are not active, they will simply never see your outreach, and that will not work. But now let me introduce you other method. We are obviously compatible with Sales Navigator. So to import the Sales Navigator search, it's very simple. We're going to have to make a search on Sales Navigator itself. So let's say I'm targeting function business development people, and I'm looking for them in North America. I can go extensively after all those profiles, but just for the sake of this live, I will just stop here. So what I do is I copy the link here, if they allow me to do that, and I paste it here. Simply, now we are getting obviously not the 12 million people, because that will be completely useless and the data will get outdated really fast. But what we will do is we will take the first 1,500 people that make the most sense. But let me introduce you the other method, because I like them so much. The free version of LinkedIn, very easy, very similar to Sales Navigator. You can make your search here, whatever search it is. You can make the location, let's say in Thailand, you want them to have certain job title and so on. It's a little bit less advantageous. You see here they sell their Sales Navigator, so you can have 12 more filter. We have 36. So that's a little bit unfair to them, but let's beat them at some point. And here, let's say you want the CEO of the company, people that are not in your network yet, that are in Thailand and so on. So here you get the list itself, and you can take this link, go back here, paste it, and that's it. That's how it works. Simply, you get the people, the list. Here you have 3 different lists within SalesMind. This is totally fine. And we are going to visit the other one. That one is actually my favorite. So here, what we're doing is we're looking at the followers of a company. So small notion here. If you want to get the followers of your competitor, that is exactly what we have built this feature for. So you take here, and you take the company link here, LinkedIn company something, and then when you have that, you can simply put this link right here. And at that exact moment, we will get the followers. If you're not admin, small disclaimer, if you're not admin of the page or the company page, we may not get the entire list of the followers themselves, but we will still get some eventually. And I will go quickly for the other one. So we do the people who like the post, who comment the post. So same, you just need to copy the link of those people, and we will get them here. We can do that for the comment as well. If someone follow a certain profile on LinkedIn, like for example mine, I can put the link of my profile /in/something, and then I get the list as well. You can see that we rename the list based on the URL itself. So for example, here, CEO network prospect, business development prospect for that one, LinkedIn prospect for this one, and this one, it will appear later. And then we have people who participate to an event. So if you're a competitor doing event, you can get the participant of that, and that build normally an intent that is much stronger than entirely cold outreach. Okay, and obviously the Google Sheet and the existing list that you have. All right. So now let's move to the next step. This is a way for you to identify and choose some template that we built for you based on the million of messages that we sent. We provide some of the template here. The one that I prefer the most is the auto outbound, and let's get started with this one. So as you can see here, we have a sequence of 6 touch points. And that's exactly what we suggest. Here, the campaign will run 1 or 2 weeks for all the prospects that will get into that. And we start with the connection request. You cannot that the connection request will leave it empty. The reason behind is very simple. What we see, the most common case, is when you receive a connection request that is have no personalized note or no note at all, you encourage the prospect to go to your LinkedIn profile and consume the content you want them to see. And this is this exact moment that the funnel starts for this prospect. So he read your banner, he read your headline, he read the content that you post, and so on. And we can go in depth about how does that materialize. So for example, here, the people will read the banner, generate lead in 195 countries. Your agent doesn't need a visa to sell abroad. We are sharing what we are doing here. 10x your reach, no busy war, global lead feed. And here, I build AI sales agent that help businesses connect with 10 times more buyers all around the world. That's the 2 very first things that your prospect will see from your profile. And you can see here that I have almost 1,400 profile view in the last 90 days. So it means that is becoming like a homepage on my website, right? The thing is, the comparison from my website is that looks way more personal. People can see my face. People can see my content. People can see what I've done before. People can see this video here we are sharing on LinkedIn. People can see the service that we are offering. And then there is plenty of way how you can make this page attractive and constructive in a way that your prospect will actually understand what you're doing and how you're doing it without you to sell anything, without a single word yet. So the feature section, the content, activity, the feature. So basically we are sending people to link that can educate them about what we are doing. So when they come on a call and when they start receiving our outreach, they understand immediately what we are doing. I see someone else join right now. So we were at the step where we introduced the importance of having a LinkedIn profile that convey the services and the solution that you have to offer. Okay, so that's why we leave that empty at the beginning, and then we follow with a message here. So this is the touch point 2 that is sent 1 minute after. We assume that if the person accepts the connection request right now, the person is connected. It's business hour, so you're likely connected as well, and you can make the first message immediately. And then instead of writing the message itself, I'm writing instruction that will write the message. So the goal for this touchpoint will be to get a reply, and the approach will be to acknowledge the connection and highlight a relevant pain point from the prospect profile that my solution can address. What am I going to use? The recent activity, LinkedIn post, headline, professional background, occupation, and so on. So what we will do is to reference something recent or relevant. Use precise verb and adjective, and so on, right? Here, for example, if I want to remove that, I can simply edit, and that's how we will have the instruction that are changed. So that's fairly easy to use, very straightforward, and you can see here the different kind of messages that will be generated. So here, so that's the touch point 3, one last thought, other consultant in niche, field using AI to help them to find new project automatically. Are you open to find new clients? So because here we are sharing everything about SalesMind itself. As you can see, we make messages that are short, because that's the format on LinkedIn. Here you have less than 400 characters, and that's already a lot. But what's really interesting is we can see that the kind of message we are sending finish with a question that is a yes, no. Is using data for benefit a focus? Is using data for benefit a focus now? And the purpose here is to make a message or ask a question that will take very little time to the prospect to reply. Here is getting new client a focus for you now, yes, no. It helps you to qualify the lead, it helps the lead to understand what you're asking, and it makes the time for answer very short. We follow 1 day later, we use the message as a PS, one last thought. And here, I just taking on my last message, right? So you continue the sequence until they reply. If they reply at that stage, here, for example, the sequence will stop entirely. And if you're on Copilot, the AI will draft a reply. If you are on the autopilot, the AI will reply automatically. Okay? And the thing is, you can see that all the person here will have a different message, a different approach. The point is, some people, they need messages that are straight to the point, like one line. Some people need a little bit more chit chat. Some people need data. Some people need example, and that's exactly what the AI does. So now we're going to open one of the profile, like rich profile, for example, and we can see that the AI analyze everything about the person. So we look at the MBTI, we generate that based on the person profile. So how does the person describe itself? What does he engage with? What does it like? What does he comment? How does he comment? How does he interact with others? What was the responsibility? What was the job that he had before? And so on. So we make a very comprehensive data set to analyze how the people are, to ensure we are relevant both professionally and personally. So you can see the full analysis. So that has not been generated yet for this one, but that will come later. So yeah, updated 10 months ago for this gentleman. We may need to refresh it a little bit. What about the second one? Second one, I think that has been done a year ago, but we do have some of the things here, and we can see everything about the person. So the AI read that, have access to those information to ensure, again, that Emil favor direct and clear interaction, often use face-to-face communication. So here, eventually, if we have the capability to go on face-to-face, the AI will offer a face-to-face meeting instead of just a link. And that's how we make sure that we are relevant to the people. We have their profile, we understand what they're doing, the present experience they're in, and the social. So in that case, for this person, we do not have much, but we will go into others where we do have much. So each touch point, we can generate them in more than 50 languages. So you can target pretty much all the world, even though you don't speak the language. That happened for us very recently. We were sending, we were spreading the Brazilian market, and we had like company in Brazilian. And when we started to have answers for Brazilian and stuff to do with them, we figured out that they don't speak English. So we went on a call, and no one can communicate to each other. So the system is a little bit too smart for us. We are waiting Google to actually release the auto translating system in Google Meet, so we could have meeting with everyone over the world, even though we don't speak the language. So that's pretty cool, the way how you build your sequence, and you make sure no lead receive twice the same message. This is not just personalization with, hey, first name, last name, company, and job title and everything. The messages themselves are entirely crafted and unique for every single lead. But now, if you want to go back to the stone age, you can help. Hello. I don't even know how to write anymore. Hello, first name, and then you can see that here everyone will get the same kind of message, right? So if you have a very specific thing that you want to say, go ahead here, and you can make your messages human. Of course, you can add some touch points, you can delete some, you can move them if you want. All good, all cool. Let's save and let's move to the next section. So here, what do we see? We see the agent phase. What does that mean? It's simply a way for you to ensure you give access to whoever you want to have access to this campaign. So for example, I have SalesMind AI production. We have other campaign from other company, other profile, other client, other department within the company, and so on. I just don't want to share that with anyone else out of my current team, but I could eventually share it with the SalesMind demo. So different people will have access to this campaign, okay? And here I can select that. What it means? It means that every lead that I reach with my profile will cancel all the other people that target the same lead. Very simple, but to ensure that the collaboration with the team is seamless. So let's save and let's go to the next step. So here this is basically the end. Test live Black Friday, and the campaign is ready to start. Okay, I just click on start and that will run. Okay, perfect. So of course this one was a test. It haven't sent any invitation request yet, but let me walk you through the way how to manage a campaign itself. So this one ran for quite a while now. We sent almost 667 connection requests, and we got almost 500 people that replied. So basically, we get a very good acceptance rate of 74%. That's no magic. The real secret behind is to target people that are first are relevant to what you're selling and that are active on LinkedIn. Those people need to be active on LinkedIn. It means they comment something, they post something, they log in, they send messages, whatever makes us to identify that they're active, we take it to ensure we target those people in priority. So we see that now we have 200 people that replied out of those 500 here, and we get a reply rate of 40%. That's okay, not super satisfying. Here we get 49, 39, 60, and so on. So usually we look at stats that are between 30 to 50%. If that's below, something is messed up. So we need to correct that. And the sequence, so as we saw, connection, message, 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 here we can see that we leave some connection still. And here, what we see is the AI identify and tag every single person that replied. So we get 24 people for who it was the bad timing. Lucky us, we have the autopilot nurturing. So it's simply, we will get back to the people in the right timing and ping them again. Oh, we talked a while ago. How is the situation going now? And stuff like this. Here we can see that we have 20 people that are neutral. Those people are not wasted, are not lost. It simply means we need to make them move down in the funnel. So more conversation, more messages, more follow-up, more touch point. And that will eventually convert in not interested, interested, skeptical, and whatever. The only point is we need to make them move down in the funnel. And from this specific campaign, we converted already 5 people, and 5 other on open deal are waiting for us to get a meeting with. And we still get 41 people that are interested. Interested is the right stage before they actually convert. Okay, so we still get plenty of lead to get from that specific campaign. Okay, so this is something where we define the stage of the lead itself. So we have the list of lead. Here we can play with the filter. Which one do you want to get? If you want to get only the people that are cold, or the people that are warm, hot, or closed, and the status, not enrolled, so not yet contacted, the ones that you contacted already, the ones that are connected, the ones that have a problem. It means, for example, if you're connected with some people, we will not target them. They will fall into this category. The people who reply, the people who haven't replied yet, that one is the most important one. Follow-up schedule. So if you have some schedule for the nurturing, that will be here, and so on. And you can see here, you have the your turn message. So what it will look like, it will look like this. So here, this is a conversation where we have everything autopilot. And we can see here, the first message has been sent through LinkedIn. And then the AI follow-up here. And that the person, so for those who doesn't speak French, he say, no, reserve next week. And here the AI, would you be available for that? The guy said next week. And here the AI say, oh, great. So next week also fit for me. Maybe we can talk about how it works for you. And here the link for you to book. That's simply because I put the link in the settings and then I can send. Of course, I haven't touched anything here. And you can see that I send the message. The writer has been AI entirely. That has been sent by LinkedIn, and that's a message. Very simple. Now, the activity will be simply the way for you to see what are the next things that will happen. So done, to do. So what are the next things that will happen for this campaign? Very simple, the sequence. So here, if you want to look at the things that you made earlier, the solution itself. So this is where the AI store all the information about your solution to ensure that we have accurate promotional material. So what is the product? What is the description? What are the features? what are the benefits, what are your unique selling points, what are the variety, the competitor, the pricing, and everything. So the AI knows and have a very comprehensive knowledge about the specific solution that you have to offer, and that's how we make messages that are relevant professionally. The settings, simply to remind you whose profile is it, which company, which link, and so on, and the LinkedIn company profile and answer. So this is some suggestion that we are giving you to improve your LinkedIn profile. Remember, you need to have a headline that let the people understand very quickly what you can do for them. Here, I could have wrote CEO of SalesMind AI, but no one have any clue about what SalesMind AI do, who we are, why we do, and so on. So instead, I write exactly the value proposition we are doing. I build AI sales agent that help businesses. Okay. So we'll provide us information here, and we provide some suggestion for you to improve that profile and make it having a customer-centric approach. Because at the end of the day, we can and we will use the LinkedIn profile to act as a landing page and a salesperson instead of just using LinkedIn as a CV. And we do the same for the company itself. The company always need to get good visibility, good copywriting, good design and everything, and that's what we are providing right here. So here I show just a few of the campaign we have, but once you have a lot of campaign, for example, if I take the entire team that we have, we can have multiple view, and you can run as many campaign as you want. Okay, so now let's go into the agent itself. So what I would like to introduce in the agent is a different way to manage the outbound itself. So we don't want you to go back to becoming a doer. We want you to becoming a validator. So basically the AI do, and you validate the AI work. So very simple here. You can see that we have multiple LinkedIn accounts that are counted as a sender for SalesMind. And the knowledge base here. So this is representing a company. In our case, SalesMind company. So we give all the information that we want the AI to know, understand, and eventually give back to the user at some point. So you don't need to go back to your Notion, Note, or whatever it is to find the link. The AI find the right link, send them to the prospect if they need something specific. So obviously here, provide a website, a very short description, but here this is where we store all the link. So basically when you sign up to SalesMind, everything is filled based on what we can find on your website. So you just need to become a validator with SalesMind. You don't do anything anymore. You validate that the AI does a great job or not, and you correct it if it doesn't. So that's very simple. So all the service, LinkedIn prospecting, the AI lead finder, AI prospect profiler, data enrichment, AI cold calling, API access, and everything. The testimonial as well. So if you have some testimonial, the AI is able to identify which profile we are talking with, which persona it belongs to, and send the right testimonial to the right person. So for example, Alex is one that have IT services and consulting, so that will be shared for other people in the IT services consulting. While this person, for example, is a freelancer, so it will send that testimonial, that link here, where people can actually really see the review here. That will be shared for those people that need to have this kind of link here. So we only share the relevant stuff. Okay, so and the competitor and so on. Here the members, so I can share and invite as many people as I want in my agent, so people have access to the same thing that I do. The settings, again, if you want to have some settings that are common among all the people that you have in your team, so for consistency, it's here. The integration, so this is where you can actually connect HubSpot, Pipedrive, your CRM. We have full enrich also for the contact enrichment, ICP, and Zapier. So if you want to connect with everything, this is where you can manage that. Now let's go in depth about what we do with the CRM a little bit. So we are creating the deal in the CRM when we detect the auto reply, when we detect a meeting from leads that come from our campaign. Let me explain you, or let me share with you a little bit story that was fun. So before we did not have that, and we started to get the autopilot when we were releasing that in beta, and the autopilot was sending 10, 15 messages with people, and we had actually no clue because we were generating like actually hundred of conversations per day. But at some point, those people converted into meeting, and we arrived on meeting, and the first question we ask usually is, "Hey, how did we get in touch initially?" And the people said, I talked with Charlotte on LinkedIn. And I started to scratch my head. Oh, wow, what did those guys talk about? So I had to sneakily open the LinkedIn, look at what the conversation was about with those prospects. And, and actually, I had no time to read. So we developed this feature to ensure you go on a meeting and you have a meeting minute. What it means, it's simply a way for you to understand very quickly what are the things that the prospect and you, or the profile that you use, would have talked about. What are the things that you need to do based on all the data that we have? So I see that we have a question from the crowd. LinkedIn has a lot of bad data, like incorrect company size, and how do we handle that? That's very accurate. The data on LinkedIn is really inaccurate, and I will share with you a little bit right now. Actually, I can get into that right now. So I introduced earlier the AI lead finder, the way for you to plug in with Sales Navigator and all the other tools. We have a second layer of verification. I think what you mentioned, Vitaly, is something that everyone saw in LinkedIn. And in the sales itself, the quality of the prospect is one of the biggest pain points in the industry of sales. So what we do is we have a much more precise criteria here. So we go with the same, we start with the same, but we go much more in depth. What are the professional skills? What are the certification they have? What are the services they profile? What are the working style they have? What language they speak? What is the education level? What is the age? How many followers they have, and so on. And then for each person we are going to, okay, we analyze this person. Do we have enough data about this person? Can we qualify this person? So, for example, here, if I target someone, is this person fall into the B2B SaaS founder or the growth hacker as a persona? And we enrich those data for you to ensure we have the accurate data. So the company size, this is something that we get either from LinkedIn, either from out of LinkedIn, and we validate those information. So the way for us to validate that is to go very extensively in enriching the data from all the prospects from multiple sources to ensure the data are accurate. I hope, Vitaly, that answer your question. But this is definitely a very big pain point in the industry. The quality of the data that you can find from LinkedIn is not always accurate, and it is even worse on Sales Navigator. Like, you can make a search on Sales Navigator and end up with thousands and thousands of people that are actually not relevant at all with what you're doing. And eventually the data get outdated at some point, so it's even less reliable. That's exactly what we solve with the agent persona. It ensures the data are fresh, accurate, and that we can actually really match that data from the prospect with someone that fits the persona itself. So I think that's pretty much it for the agent itself. So I'd like to go a little bit back in the sender and show you a little bit more about what we do for the senders themselves. So here we are sending, so we are sending here the different kind of information we have about myself. So what is my email, what is my phone number, what is my calendar. So the AI can share all those information at some point. The connected account, so here I have only LinkedIn, but we plan to do email next year, and that will be where you can connect all your inboxes here. And within LinkedIn itself, we have multiple different kind of settings. here. So the full inbox, if you want either to get only the messages that SalesMind generate for you, or if you want the entire inbox to be managed within SalesMind, we can automatically accept the connection request. We can warm up the account. That is something we've done recently, and then it ensures you can actually use your account even though it's really cold, like it means no connection, you don't make any activity, you don't have picture and everything. We take care of that, and we will make sure that we increase that gradually. We can also clean the pending connection request. You can choose 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, whatever the date is. I choose 2 months, so it has been done recently, so the next one is in 2 months. And I see that, Vitaly, you asked another question. So we don't send email yet. That will be next year, 2026. We will release the email, WhatsApp, and Telegram. And for now, what we have is the limit per day. And you can play with that, right? You can go above or do whatever you want with that. So basically what we do by default is 60 messages, 60 follow, 30 connection, and usually we do 60 messages. My account is really warm, so we go up to 90. This is how we connect the account, a little bit technical, and for the other people that use account from provider, you can plug your own proxy right here. Okay, so right here, the attribute setting, again, if you want the settings to be done only for this person, you can, and the tone of voice. So to ensure we mimic your tone of voice and the way how you communicate, we are making the tone of voice. So we look at the last 60 messages that you wrote, and we identify what is your personality, what is your role, how you style your sentences, how you use grammar, and how formal you are, what is the vocabulary, how do you frame that, what is the communication intent, and so on. So we ensure we mimic your communication style, and the messages sound like you at the end of the day. All right, so that was it for the sender now within the agent, and you can see that you have very granular options. So all the profile that you have here, you can set the different things for them. Okay, and the last thing that I would like to introduce today is the inbox. So here we can see that we have some conversation that happened from Charlotte to Samuel, for example. We see that for Samuel fit at 64% the B2B SaaS growth hacker. So if I make it a little bit, personalities with solid digital marketing experience and lead generation capability, however, is currently the insurance company, blah, blah, blah. So we have a rationale about why do we think this person fit. Here, it does not fit entirely, but it's still doing lead generation. So that's pretty much a good lead for us. So we will have a look at that. So the conversation has been entirely generated by AI here, and then we can see that here the AI drafted a message for me that I can use. So thanks for that's a smart focus. SalesMind AI use AI-driven discovery to find high-quality prospect, and then you can learn more here. So this is the link that we shared initially, and that will be a way for him to book a meeting with us or consume any kind of content we want him to see. Okay, so here I can either send this message, I can schedule this message to be sent eventually. For some reason, I want him to be sent tomorrow at 11 and schedule send. Tomorrow, this person will get my message. Here, again, we saw that has been sent by me. So if you have other people in your team, you can track who sent the message from SalesMind. And you have the other kind of information. Okay, very simple. Here we see that this is not my turn to reply anymore, and this is simply a way for us to track who we need to reply and who we need not to reply. So we can see definitely a conversation that happened for entirely for this person. So the first message has been sent, the person replied, the AI replied immediately. And what's interesting here is we are sharing a case study for the first message. What we identify is this person needs long messages. So the AI just make messages that are sharing more context and everything. And here the guy want to know the pricing, so the AI share the pricing, and so on. So this is all those messages entirely automated. We haven't touched anything. And that's what I meant initially, right? We got on the call with this person and it's, yeah, I talk with you on LinkedIn and I have like 1,000 conversations and I'm like, oh, wow, maybe we talked, but it wasn't me actually, you know? It was my AI just make you push to my calendar because actually what you see is making sense for you at that moment. So that's fairly it. So the conversation happened entirely autonomously. We can see that some of the people will have nurturing, the reply on autopilot and everything. I can sync to the CRM here. And obviously I can play with the filter right here. So which agent I want to filter, which status I want them to be, and so on. Okay, so that's very simple to use here. If I get back to the full inbox, what I would like to share here is the fit ratio. So we identified that this person fit at 64% to our persona, based on all those specific information that we can get about them. And that's how we ensure we prioritize the people that are actually relevant for your business. And we can see the full analysis. Okay, so how the buyer persona is the pain point aligned, is the geography aligned, is the job responsibility, is in the right industry, and so on. So that we make sure that we go through extensively this. We have the MBTI, so we share again the information, and we have the demographic information. I see here the gender is not really accurate, but the age range, the location, and so on. So again, that's to make sure we address the people in the right things. We see that person is in one campaign, so we can open the campaign right from here and see what has been shared. So in this campaign, we get those kind of things. We can monitor which link was aimed to be shared, what are the solutions that we're sharing here, and so on. And then come the adaptive microsite. So again, this is something that is not available for the entire public. This is purely on alpha testing currently. But if I could explain you that briefly, it simply means the buyer funnel is changing and we are reinventing that in a way that from the message, people cannot go to your LinkedIn profile. We don't want them to go there. Eventually, yes, but that will not be the main purpose. We don't want them to go to your website. The reason is the website are in 2025 spray and pray. You make a website for everyone and you expect everyone to understand what you're doing from that and find value from that. So what we thought is let's break the entire funnel and make it adaptive for every single person. It simply means that every single person that I have in my campaign will have their own version of my website. So instead of having 80 pages from my website that people will spend 30 seconds on and bounce, they will have one page that is dedicated for them. So this is not entirely perfect yet. That's why we haven't released it. But here we see that the AI decided to share the review here. And we have a headline that is entirely personalized for this person. The person talk about quality in the lead. Hey, this is exactly what we're doing. Get high quality B2B lead on autopilot. Why? Because that person mentioned here that his focus is on the quality. So obviously, the value proposition we have is on the quality. You mentioned focusing on lead quality. Our AI sales agent automate LinkedIn outreach to deliver a consistent flow of interested qualified prospects. So we are sharing customer success, so the content we have from them, and so on. So here are very simple pages. This is the very beginning of this very new, innovative way to land deal with your prospect, and that becoming a way for them to actually access your value proposition immediately. And then obviously you have the seller view. So from my point of view, I want to know why this person is the psychographic fit, what is the firmographic, is it the demographic. So I have a complete understanding of why this person makes sense, and the prospect also have access to him, to this, to make sure that you don't spam people. You only connect with people who you know you can bring value. Okay? So each person will have their own website. In that case, we haven't started to share those within the campaign themselves. So here, this is on the purpose of testing. We can generate for each of the prospect their own page. So for example, if I get here back, adaptive microsite, this person have a complete different website. This person looking at to automate the prospecting, it's different than this one, right? I'm going back here, get high quality B2B lead, and here the copywriting entirely changed based on what we exchange with the prospect. Now, if this prospect telling me this one, if this guy telling me, oh, now I focus on quality and quantity, guess what? The website will change. It will come back to the website. We will have a new version. Get high quality, unlimited B2B lead on autopilot with AI. And that's how we are breaking the entire sales industry, by having a funnel that is entirely personalized and adaptive for each of the prospects. So we make sure we increase the conversion rate at the end of the day. Bear with me, that will be available 2026, and that will be the most groundbreaking innovation that we can build in the sales industry. All right. So I think that was pretty much it that what I wanted to share with you today. You have a bunch of much information. So who is also in touch with this person? It seems like half of my team is also talking with this person. You can obviously see what they're sharing here, and no message, no message, no message. And we can see the contact information. So sometimes we get the personal phone. We can retrieve the email, the professional email. Here we get a personal email. We haven't checked it, so we cannot validate that. But if we get an email that is validated, we share that with you. You have access to the API as well, and this is free. We give all the data we have about all the prospects entirely free. You can export this right here, and you will get a bunch of information about everyone, much more than what human can handle. The reason is that because data nowadays is the gold mine for salespeople. So we provide those data to you. The experience, the education, and the activity. So we're preparing a lot of beautiful things for 2026. One of them will be the release of the adaptive microsite. The multi-channel will be also here. And where we put the strongest focus now is on the quality of the completion. We want the messages to be 100%, 110% perfect. We want each message to convert. And that's what we are putting our focus on currently. So once we will have the multi-channel, every single touch point will become money at the end of the day. All right. So, I forgot the Mind AI. So that's something very cool that we built a while ago. And it's simply a way for you to communicate with your prospect data. It simply means, okay, is Samuel the right decision maker? This is ultra personalized. The AI knows who is Charlotte. It knows what Charlotte wants. And then obviously it will come up with reply that are making sense specifically for me. If you ask from another conversation, it will be completely different. And that's how we make sure that you can communicate with the data of your prospect, having personalized reply. Consider it somehow like a GPT, right? You have your agent, you fill a bunch of information in the system, and then at the end of the day, you expect to be personalized and understand what you need each time. This is exactly the same, but we know perfectly what those people are about. Okay. So that's pretty much it for today. The live lasts a little bit longer than what I expected, but I'm really happy to be able to share this exciting journey that we have done with SalesMind so far. Now, what I can say is we're having a very good deal, the deal that you cannot miss this year. So let me share the page with you. So I can simply go to SalesMind, the homepage, and then you can claim your offer for the Black Friday. So here you can see that for 1,999, you get 3 years and 3 senders. For all that, you get the AI lead finder, the AI messages, everything that I just show you. You have access to it, and the result will be astonishing. You will save more than 75 hours per week, reach almost 150 ideal clients per month, and 9x more meeting booked on autopilot. And then obviously you will have everything as a bonus. So the total of senders, the AI sales mastery. So we have webinar and one-to-one consultation where we will be able to go in depth about your business, your solution, and how we can promote it. CRM automation blueprint. So we have some custom integration that we can share that with you. We give you access to a very exclusive inner circle team expansion, so you can have more in the future, and chat support priority. Usually we sell that for almost $700. You have it included in the 1999 package and the coaching call. So anytime you want, we get on a call and we help you to achieve your purpose, to achieve your mission. If we don't, we get back on the call and we do it ourselves for you. Okay? So we also have the deal, 1 year, 3 sender, 799. You save a bunch of time. You have access to everything. You have some bonus as well, but obviously not the coaching calls that you can have unlimited. And we start at 599. So in that case, if you want only 1 sender for 6 months. So that's the offer for Black Friday. Don't miss it. It finishes tomorrow at midnight. You can save 93% any other time in the year. That's the only moment where you can get it for that simple price. Okay, so we are giving 5 sender for 3 years. Listen again, 5 sender, 3 years, unlimited assistance call. You get a problem in 2 years and a half, we're here for you. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense for you. You have access to this on the website itself, and don't miss it. That will not last forever. I don't know if anyone have question so far, but we can actually stop here if no one have question. I will wait a minute or two if someone have question, and then we can just stop here. All right, I see no question. So thank you very much, everyone. It was a huge pleasure to share what we're building and giving you such a big discount for the next 3 years. So bear with me a little bit more, and we will get into that. Looking for more meeting? Come to SalesMind. All right. I wish everyone a wonderful day, and see you in 2 years and a half.